art seems like it's the one method of communication that we have that does not limit us to the format of the communication itself. So language, mathematics, these kinds of things are essentially lines of code that we read in order, whereas art comes to you all at once, or can come to you all at once. That's not to say that you can't pick it apart and look at bits of it, but the thing is the thing. And in the same way that mathematics and language do, in order to function, they must snip little parts out of reality and give them a label or a name or a number or a formula. Art does the same thing, and yet somehow manages to retain the complexity and the essence of the reality in doing so at the same time. So it sets it apart from all other modes of communication.
Mm. It sets it apart. Art sets it apart from all other meanings of communication because it keeps the whole as the whole, because it relates to it in a non-judgmental way, in a holistic way, in a way that fills all the senses, in a way that is conscious and not conscious at the same time, in a way that relates to the hidden spheres of the hidden spheres behind the things, and in a way that is practice. Art reflects practice. Practice in the deepest repetitive form. Practice in the form that you don't need to practice anymore. Practice of tens of thousands of hours, at least of reflection upon the being.
That's good. That's good. There's conscious and unconscious. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate dance art, because one needs to do that with so many things, right? So one has to be fully conscious of one's technique and exactly what one is actually doing in the physical world. And yet one needs to be fully in touch with one's subconscious to feel that which wishes to be expressed, because that is non-verbal, that is non-technical, that is non-physical. And so it's balancing these two things, the practice, the submission to the monotony of repetitive, boring practice in order to master the skills that are necessary to express that which lies deep within you. Balancing these apparent contradictions is right at the heart of what it is to be an artist.
Mm. And therefore, all the channels need to be open and all the channels need to be closed. The relevant channels need to be as open as they can, and the relevant channels need to be as closed as they can, to focus, to be the smallest ever opening, to let only the distilled essence come through to what is touching and let the other out of what is not relevant. And at the same time, we look and gaze into what we understand and don't understand, and we are one with what we depict, and we are one with what we create. Art is creation. It's creation of something new that is already existing since eons of hundreds of thousands of billions of universes, and it is expressed in a new way that we haven't seen before, that is relating to everything that has been there all the time.
Opening and closing, that's good as well. So opening up to the unknown, the infinite, the inexpressible, and then closing in on that which grabs you, right? Because art is personal. And so yielding to uncertainty, vulnerability, unknown, and then allowing the thing which speaks to you to speak to you, and home in on that and find a way to bring that back from the unknown into the known, into the physical, using your mastery and your skill to because this is our ultimate purpose, right? We are the conduit between the divine and the gross, right? We bring into gross expression that which has previously resided only in the realm of the divine. This is
honing in honing into the actual art of perception, of reception. Without receiving, I cannot create. Without receiving and honing in and honing my channels of reception, I cannot even come into a flow of creation, because before my creation, there is only the bigger creation. There's only the divine that can touch me and fill my every breath with what is coming through to me. Closing meaning listening and getting it all into myself as the channel to bring it out again. And these senses need to be wide open.
This is the ultimate balancing act. This is right at the heart of the dance of the artist, is the recognition of when to be a humble vessel and when to be fully yourself, fully individuated yourself. And this is the ultimate balancing act. This is the ultimate tightrope to walk, because if you are too much your individuated self, it's not coming from a deep place. But if you're too much a humble vessel, you're not putting your own stamp on it, and you are valuable for that purpose, to put your own stamp. You're not making reality, but you have a unique perspective, a unique viewpoint, a unique vantage point from which to view it. And so, yes, combining the notion of being a humble vessel with being a unique individual.
Mm-hmm. And if so, what is it that makes the whole universe an artistic process? What is it that makes everything that children do artistic in a way? What is it that makes the waves come onto the ocean an act of art as well? Is it us perceiving and observing? Is art there if nobody can observe it?
That feels like a little bit of a conflation between art and beauty. I think it was a very interesting question, whether art is a uniquely human thing. Beauty undeniably abounds in the universe. Wherever you look, everything is beautiful. There is no question of that. But is that art? Is art necessarily beautiful? No. Art can be profoundly repulsive and disturbing and ugly. Art need not be beautiful. And so to conflate art and beauty, I think, is a terrible mistake. There's a great quote. Art, if it is to be truthful, so in a decaying world, art, if it is to be truthful, must depict that decay. If it fails to do so, it is failing to fulfill one of its primary social functions. And so art, while it is this abstract thing, it also has a very important and direct and meaningful function to play in society.
Mm-hmm. I'm going into the caves to look at the cave paintings, which is an act of mirroring the world through the vessel into the outside, to tell a story, of what I perceive and receive, and to mirror that through the human. Wow. How can this even be sold? How can this even be hired? What can be the purpose? What must be the purpose of bringing this mirror into the world, if not love and beauty and growth for the whole?